Okay, so this is a video guide for the Tempest. It's a Heart of the Swarm Protoss unit. This is beta patch 12. The way this unit's a starport unit, or Stargate unit I should say, it requires a fleet beacon. 300 mineral cost, 200 vespene gas costs, force supply. It's quite an expensive unit for force supply, kind of similar to a Void Ray in terms of cost per supply. Well, I take that back. It's even more expensive than a Void Ray, because Void Rays got bumped from 3 to 4 supplies in one of the latest beta patches. Forgot about that. Unlike the Void Ray, however, this unit's pretty, I would say it's very strong. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets nerfed before the expansion comes out. The reason we're going to say that is, we'll get a Void Ray out, and we'll come back to that, but the damage it deals is not very high versus regular units. It only deals 39 damage with 3-3, but that's with a 3.3 weapon speed. That's incredibly slowly. Let me give you an idea what that's like. Yeah, it's like literally every 3 seconds. It's very slow. But what is good, but why I still think these units are so good, is their range is ridiculous. Like, I can hit these stalkers multiple times before they can hit me. And they're very good against Colossus. As you can see, I can kill a Colossus from across the map. And that whole attack, I didn't lose anything. Even though the computer had a decent amount of forces, and that's because the Tempest itself has a very high HP, or shield and health total for only being a force supply unit. 450 health really total. Good armor rating. Compare that to something like a Battlecruiser. What Battlecruisers have, I think, like 550 health. Only 100 extra health for an extra 2 supplies. Like, it's not... I think that the Tempest is very survivable. But its real advantage is its range. Its range for both is 15. A siege tank is only 13. It makes it by far the longest ranged unit in the game. As you can see, I killed that Colossus literally across the screen. And these arrows are going to represent the range. Like, you can literally attack across the screen. So the way it works is that you can practically siege buildings like beyond your vision, and then you could easily harass the computer this way. Or even like a regular player, it doesn't have to be a computer. I'm playing a computer just so I can make these test videos, but when the Tempest gets really dangerous is when you have a big clump of them, because it's too hard to approach the army. Once you have 15 if you have a 15 range and you have a big ball of Tempest, it's like before the other army gets in range, every Tempest has fired off a shot, and if you have a big army of them, they've already killed like 20% of the opposing forces. It's like they can't possibly win even with a better army composition, because you've chosen such large units. And the damage itself is pretty low, like I was saying. The problem is that its range is just so big that they're very survivable. Their only really strong suit, though, in particular, is versus massive units. The reason for that is, as you can see, they do 95 damage with 3-3 weapons. There's very few massive air units, so it's kind of like anti-Battlecruisers, anti-Broodlords, given its siege range. And Tempests do tear up Battlecruisers. You might think that they wouldn't because of Yamato cannon. You know, if you have a Yamato cannon for each Tempest, it'll really weaken your Tempest army. The problem is, 5 shots or 6 shots from a Tempest kills a Battlecruiser, and the Tempest gets 2 shots in before the Battlecruiser even gets in range. So, Tempest definitely way better. They would just melt Battlecruisers. Hope that helped cleared up this unit. Really, it's really good, and right now it's a unit you can just mass out kind of with no worries. The only thing I mentioned is it's very expensive. You need a lot of gas. They take a while to build up. Like 3 Tempests, not very good. 6 Tempests, decent. 15 Tempests, it starts getting to be like an unstoppable army. If you have 20 Tempests, there's practically nothing the enemy player can do except if he doesn't use caster units. Like, they're going to have to use like Neural Parasite or something like that. Really good storms. And even then, like, Fungal and Storm don't work that great against the Tempest because they spread out. They're really big. They don't share a lot of space on the ground. So it's a tough unit to deal with. I would try to not let a Protoss player build up too big of a ball of this. It's kind of like, if you're like a Zerg player playing against a Tempest using a Protoss, you want to kind of think about it like you would in before they nerfed the Archons in the Mothership Tulip Bowl strategy. That is, where Protoss players would use Vortex at the Mothership, run their Archons in on top of the Zerg army. When the Zerg army spawned, they all got wiped out by Archons and Psionic Storm. In that case, really the only way to beat it until they nerfed it was to not let the Protoss get that many units in the first place. So, you know, don't let a Protoss sit back and macro up on you, especially with this unit as good as it is. Because it's just insane how much damage it does right now, and it's not very easily stopped, and you can outrange all these units. And it's got a decent speed too for being such a big unit. But it is massive. It is weak against other Tempests. So Tempests do kill each other. If you're a Protoss, you know, get Tempest and focus down the other player's Tempest, unless you're way behind on the economy. Anyway, that's it for the Tempest. Hope this video helped. Definitely a good unit. Definitely one you're going to check out, especially if you're a good macro player.